Hi, and now as we continue the Good News Ministries video course on Pope Francis's document, The Joy of Love, we're continuing in chapter 3, and this is going to be about paragraph 62. Halfway down that paragraph, Pope Francis talks about the indissolubility of marriage. It is not dissolvable. Why? Because love never is meant to be dissolved. Love, if it's real, is always loving. Why? Because it comes from God. God's love never ends. God's love cannot be dissolved. God's love cannot be divorced. We can divorce ourselves from God, but He won't stop loving us. Same thing in a marriage. We can separate ourselves from the person that we committed our lives to, or he or she might do that to us. But love never ends. This is why the church says that marriage cannot be dissolved, because if it is really founded on love, there is no end to it. Now, this is not bad news. This is good news. In the midst of hardships that are painful and we want to escape from it, it doesn't feel like good news. It feels like a trap, doesn't it? Many people see it as a trap and think the church is not aware of the problems enough that happen in marriage. And they think the church is not compassionate and understanding about why people should get divorced. What the church is saying is, love is a gift. Therefore, marriage is a gift. And by looking at marriage as something that cannot be dissolved, it's saying that your marriage, if you are really sincere about loving, both of you are sincere about it at the time of the wedding, you're committing your lives to each other, then the good news is love never ends. You can count on getting through all the problems because love never ends. Pope Francis mentions, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder, quoting Matthew chapter 19, verse 6, and that this command should not be viewed as a yoke imposed on us, but as a gift granted to those who are joined in marriage. A gift. Because, as he continues, God's indulgent love always accompanies us on our human journey. His indulgent love. His indulgent love is part of our marriage. When we get married in the sacrament of marriage, we get married in the church, we are bringing God's indulgent love into that marriage. He indulges us with love that we don't deserve and with supernatural love that we can share with our spouse and our kids when we don't feel like it. He says, through grace, it heals and transforms hardened hearts. God's indulgent love heals. To say that marriage cannot be ended by our human desires to get rid of the pain and maybe try over again with somebody else, God saying no to that, God saying, I've got a better plan to that, is gift. God wants us to enjoy the gift that He gives us, the gift of marriage, the gift of family life. God helps us. He transforms our pain into new growth if we stick it through, trusting and relying on that indulgent love of God. And when we look at it through that lens, Anything is possible. Any problem can be overcome if both husband and wife want to do it and are open to receiving that indulgent love from God.